Right now at 5, the trial continues for a man connected to a 2021 triple homicide.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski. The trial is underway for a man charged in connection to a 2021 triple homicide. 35-year-old Nia Tao is facing 3 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. News 8 Now's Dua Israr was at the courthouse this morning, where opening arguments from both the prosecution and defense were heard. Good evening, Dua.
Ken, there was a major point both sides focused on during the statements: Tao's role in the triple homicide. Tao, along with 45-year-old Kamthaneth Rattanasak, are accused of shooting and killing 3 men over a $600 debt. Rattanasak is expected to testify against Tao later this week. In July of 2021, the La Crosse County Sheriff's Office responded to a call at the Romskog Quarry on County Highway M. 24-year-olds Peng Lor and Nemo Yang and 23-year-old Trevor Maloney were shot and killed. On Tuesday morning, the prosecution and defense gave their opening statements to the jury.
At the end of the case, I'm convinced that you're going to find that Mr. Tao was involved in this through the messages that he sent, through the things that he said, and the person he was with in the car and afterwards. And I'm asking you to find him guilty of first-degree intentional homicide for all 3 of these young men.
According to the criminal complaint, a witness came forward and told police Rattanasak handed the gun to Tao, who shot the 3 men. In his opening statement, Tao's attorney asked jury members to question the credibility of that witness. DA Tim Grinke stated jury members would hear from Rattanasak, who was given immunity by the state for his testimony. The defense also argued Rattanasak would try to manipulate the jury. 3 witnesses also testified in court today that each victim was shot roughly 3 to 4 times in the head and torso. Ken?
Dua Israr, thank you very much. Tao faces a mandatory sentence of life imprisonment if he's convicted of first-degree intentional homicide. The trial is expected to last a week.
Sure was a fairly cloudy day today across the area, and we saw temperatures into the 70s and low 80s this afternoon across much of the Coulee region as well. Let's take a look at your zone forecast for tonight, and moving forward, we're going to be into the 50s here tonight with partly cloudy skies, a low of 53 in Minduro, 58 tonight in La Crescent, and 57 in Stoddard, 56 in Gays Mills, and 57 in Viroqua. Heading to our central zones now, low to mid 50s here with 57 in Trempealeau, 52 in Blair, 50 in Tomah, and 52 in Osseo. Just a few passing clouds for the Chippewa Valley tonight with lows mainly into those low to mid 50s. So a check on your 8 to 8 forecast, looking at those cloudy conditions lasting through at least overnight, and then by early tomorrow morning those clouds will clear out and we will be turning sunny between around the 6 to 8 o'clock hour there, with temperatures into the 50s and 60s, making it a pretty seasonable night and also early morning tomorrow. Stay tuned. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Derek, thanks very much. Former President and 2024 Republican candidate Donald Trump appeared in a Miami federal courthouse today to answer a 37-count indictment related to his handling of government documents. Chelsea Jones has more from Miami.
Miami police officers met demonstrators outside the federal courthouse where former President Donald Trump appeared for his arraignment on felony charges. We love Trump. We love Trump. Supporters and protesters brought their opinions of the case.
This whole country has been brainwashed.
Sad day in America. It's surreal. Can't believe it.
Inside the courthouse, the former president pleaded not guilty all 37 counts. He is accused of illegally retaining classified documents, storing them at his Mar-a-Lago home, and conspiring to hide them from the government after it subpoenaed him to get them back.
What we are witnessing today is the blatant and unapologetic weaponization of the criminal justice system.
While this is one of several investigations into Trump, this is the first time the Justice Department has brought charges against a former president. In announcing the indictment Friday, special counsel Jack Smith maintained the case is not politically motivated.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Trump, who is the current frontrunner for the Republican presidential nomination, has seen his poll numbers go up since his indictment. Chelsea Jones, CBS News, Miami.
Trump stopped at a nearby Cuban restaurant after his arraignment and said, quote, "We have a rigged country." He plans to head back to his New Jersey golf club to rally with supporters and meet with campaign donors later tonight. Denver police have announced they have 2 suspects in custody on weapons charges after 10 people were wounded in a shootout last night. Authorities say an altercation broke out while fans were celebrating the Denver Nuggets' first ever NBA title. The surveillance footage you see here shows the chaos as shots were fired just after midnight in the city. Police were able to recover 5 guns along with several fentanyl pills. Denver's chief of police said that this was something they couldn't anticipate.
What we couldn't have planned for is a drug deal right in the middle of a celebration for an NBA championship. Our strong belief is that this was completely unassociated to the celebration.
Officers believe 5 to 6 of the people who were shot were innocent bystanders, while others played a role in the altercation. Authorities also said none of the wounded patients are facing life-threatening injuries. Democratic lawmakers are rallying at the Capitol, calling on GOP leaders to put free school meals back into the Wisconsin state budget. Governor Evers included money in the budget for a free breakfast and lunch for all students, regardless of their parents' income. But the Republican-controlled Budget Committee removed that item. Democrats argue the state should be using its nearly $7 billion surplus for efforts like free school meals. Extra volunteers from around the country are helping out at a Habitat for Humanity project in Arcadia. Caravanners is a Habitat program full of RV travelers. The group plans stops at Habitat work sites while on trips across the country. This is the group's 2nd time stopping in the area after coming to help with the project last June.
We move at different speeds, of course, but we pick up whatever's situation or whatever however they are, whatever level they are on the construction.
The group will be helping La Crosse Area Habitat for the next couple of weeks. If you'd like to donate or volunteer, we'll be posting more information on news8000.com. A special adaptive bike has made its way to La Crosse, and today a West Salem kid got the chance to test it out. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen was at UWL's bike camp today and joins us live in studio to tell us about the Race Runner. Good evening, Emily.
Hi, Ken. UWL's bike camp typically teaches kids with intellectual disabilities how to ride a bike. This is the first year it's available to kids with mobility needs. That's thanks to UWL graduate student Mandy Lucas. She fundraised to bring the Race Runner to La Crosse. That's equipment that allows people with mobility impairments to bike with friends and strengthen major muscle groups. Lucas is working with Bentley Cleveland. That's a 10-year-old with spina bifida. She says she wanted to give him an opportunity to go fast and get stronger.
When he gets on the equipment, he can strengthen the muscles in his legs, then transfers become easier, daily life skills become easier, swimming is easier, things like that.
Typically, training to use this equipment is only available in Denmark, but Lucas says La Crosse pediatrician Ginny Winterstein got that training, and now Winterstein is training her so she can help more kids access those bikes. Lucas fundraised to bring the bike to La Crosse. It cost $2,000, all of which were covered by Mayo, the La Crosse Community Foundation, and the Riverfest Commodores Kids in Need. Ken?
Such a great effort. Thanks, Emily. You'll get to hear from Bentley on his need for speed coming up tonight at 6. Happening tonight, the Great River Sound Concert Series continues at Dash Park in Onalaska. Its free concert series runs 6:30 to 8:30 on Tuesday nights all summer long. Ryan Howe and the Atmosphere is performing tonight. Meanwhile, happening tomorrow, Wisconsin State Troopers are hosting an upcoming open house at the Sparta State Patrol post off I-90. That one running from 3 to 7 p.m. Visitors can get an up-close look at equipment and patrol vehicles, and there's also going to be a chance to talk to the troopers about some job opportunities. Just ahead, electric vehicles may be protecting the planet from harmful emissions, but are they the best vehicles for protecting you and your passengers? That story next.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Although electric vehicles may help the environment, they do come with a hidden danger. EVs typically weigh more than gas vehicles because of their large batteries. And experts say this can increase the danger for pedestrians and other drivers when it comes to a crash.
I think it does present significant challenges for safety, and it's something that no one is looking at.
With many car manufacturers switching to electric vehicles, experts believe the time to act is now to prevent deaths before they happen. Lawmakers in the House are expected to pass 2 bills that Republicans say protect a consumer's ability to buy and install gas stoves. Last month, New York became the first state to ban gas stoves in new construction. And as Natalie Brand reports, that issue has ignited a political firestorm.
Stoves This administration has a war on gas stoves.
Heating up on the House floor, a debate over gas stoves, ignited over GOP concerns that the federal government wants to restrict or even ban them.
It's an issue of consumer choice. It's an issue of affordability.
Washington State Republican Dan Newhouse points to bans at the local level, like the one recently enacted in New York, a victory for climate advocates and those worried about indoor air quality.
This is an incremental step in moving the country away from a source of energy that we desperately, vitally need.
Newhouse believes a new proposed efficiency standard by the Department of Energy could block the sale of many gas cooking appliances nationwide.
The Department of Energy argues the proposals are intended to boost energy efficiency for new products and would not go into effect until 2027. The agency emphasizes it's not trying to do away with gas stoves.
Well, I don't think we should ban gas stoves, but we're not talking about banning gas stoves. It's not real.
Florida Democrat Jared Moskowitz thinks the issue is a smokescreen. He graduated from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, the scene of a 2018 shooting massacre.
We've not had one hearing on school safety, not one hearing on school safety, multiple hearings on how some boogeyman is going to come to your house and take your gas stove.
While one gas stove bill targets the Energy Department, the other is aimed at the Consumer Product Safety Commission, which also insists it does not intend on banning gas stoves. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
These bills are not expected to move forward in the Democratic-controlled Senate. The Biden administration says it does not support any attempt to ban the use of gas stoves, but also strongly opposes the GOP legislation. Coming up tonight, it's easy to get wrapped up in a day outside when it's full of sunshine, but health experts say overlooking your body's response to some prolonged heat can be costly.
It's looking a lot drier and warmer starting tomorrow. Stay tuned here. Coming up on News 8, I'll have a check on your full weather forecast after the break. We'll be right back. Well, sure was a cloudy day today across the Coulee region with temperatures into the 70s and some spots even reach the low 80s. For tonight, though, we'll be under the influence of partly cloudy skies. Temperatures tonight dropping into the 50s, 56 in Soldiers Grove, 57 in Stoddard tonight, 57 also in Steuben, and 55 to the north there in Westby and Vernon County. Meanwhile, across our central zone tonight, lows into the low to mid 50s here. Much cooler in Monroe County. Sparta, you're looking at 50, 52 in Warrens, but colder in Black River Falls, Jackson County, 49 degrees for you. As we head north in the Chippewa Valley tonight, partly cloudy skies here as well, with temperatures in the low 50s, 54 tonight in Eau Claire. So overall, the forecast tonight, 58 degrees, partly cloudy skies, pretty seasonable as far as our temperatures go. Westerly winds light at 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the day tomorrow, 84 degrees, slightly on the warm side, a couple degrees or so above average, and partly cloudy west-southwest winds light at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your zone forecast for the day tomorrow, high temperatures are going to climb back into the mid 80s. So another warm day, or warmer day, I should say, for tomorrow, with a high of 86 in Gays Mills and 86 in Stoddard, 84 in La Crescent, highs reach 85 in Black River Falls, and a high of 86 in Arcadia, 84 in La Crosse, with highs reaching the mid to upper 80s in the Chippewa Valley for tomorrow afternoon. In fact, Eau Claire, you're looking at a high of 87 degrees here for you for your high tomorrow. Now, as we take you into Sky Tracker tomorrow morning, we start off mostly clear, so a much different story here compared to what we were dealing with this morning. A few showers here are possible as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Definitely not expecting a washout by any means, but we could be looking at a few pop-up showers before they begin to dissipate as we head into tomorrow night. Now, by early Thursday morning, we're going to be looking at some clouds once again, moving in across portions of the area, and then overall just mixed clouds and sunshine as we head into the rest of the day on Thursday. And by Thursday night, I'm expecting mainly clear skies. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast, and we're going to be looking at highs into the 80s throughout the rest of this week with just a mix of clouds and sunshine. Low temperatures mainly into the 50s and at low 60s. Back to you.
Thanks, Derek. We could be locked in for a summer of smoke. The fire season in Canada has just begun, and it's already breaking records. And that means more Americans could see more days like what you're seeing here. The Canadian Forest Service is predicting the fire season, which lasts all summer, will be much worse than usual. Since the fires are often started by lightning and then fueled by dry weather in rural areas, there's just not much anyone can do to stop them. For people who live on the eastern seaboard in the U.S., hazy skies could be returning. More than 700 people on average die every year from heat-related illnesses in the U.S. And with summer in full swing, health experts say protecting yourself and your family is absolutely critical. Mandy Gaither has more on how to prevent sickness in the summer heat.
As the temperature rises, so does the danger. Each year in the U.S., more than 67,000 people visit emergency departments on average due to the heat.
Heat exhaustion can occur very rapidly.
While heat-related illnesses can affect anyone, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say those most susceptible include seniors 65 and older, anyone with high blood pressure, and people who work outside in the heat. Heat exhaustion symptoms include heavy sweating, cold, pale, clammy skin, and a fast, weak pulse. Experts say to get out of the heat, loosen clothes or take a cool bath and to sip water. Dr. Christina Butler with Mayo Clinic says to avoid going out during the hottest part of the day.
Waking up a little bit earlier to enjoy the sunrise and maybe spending more time outside over the sunset, because those moments of less extreme heat can allow us to be outside enjoying fresh air, but also being safe.
Heat stroke is a medical emergency when the body heats to 103 degrees or higher. Other symptoms include hot, red, dry, or damp skin, fast, strong pulse, confusion, and loss of consciousness. If these symptoms are present, call 911 right away. Medical experts say you should move to a cooler place, apply cool cloths to the body, and don't give the person anything to drink.
If you think about needing help, ask for it rather than delay.
Another heat-related illness to watch out for is heat cramps. If you experience heavy sweating and muscle pain or spasms, the CDC says to stop physical activity and move to a cool place and rehydrate. When we come back tonight at 5, one superstar is helping revive city economies back to pre-pandemic levels with her latest tour.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
There will be 3 new categories for next year's Grammy Awards. The additions were announced on today and include Best African Music Performance, Best Alternative Jazz Album, and Best Pop Dance Recording. Meanwhile, the Grammys will move 2 existing categories into the general field. Those categories are Producer of the Year Non-Classical and Songwriter of the Year Non-Classical. Taylor Swift says it must be exhausting always rooting for the anti-hero, but it must really be exhausting just being Taylor Swift right now. Her Eras Tour is an economic smash, on track to generate $4.6 billion. That's not just ticket sales. It takes into account the spending on all sorts of things to see the shows. Last weekend, Chicago booked a record number of hotel rooms as fans flocked to the city for Swift's concerts. Of course, all those people also ate at restaurants and contributed to the local economy in various ways. The average Taylor Swift ticket holder spends more than $1,300. Incredible stuff. We will have one final look at tonight's forecast right after this.
The last check on your 8-day forecast. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of 84 degrees, and highs will remain into the 80s throughout the rest of this week under a mix of clouds and sunshine, and low temperatures in the 50s and low 60s.
All right, Derek, thanks very much, and thanks so much for joining us tonight at 5. We appreciate your time. We hope to see you again at 6.